Monosaccharides. These are some artificial sweeteners that you may hear of, like D-sorbitol or xylitol, which comes from xylose, and mannitol, which comes from mannose. They are artificial sweeteners which come from the original sugars, okay? Except what they've done is they have oxidized that aldehyde, or actually they've reduced the aldehyde to a hydroxyl group, okay? So they've reduced the sugar and made it an alcohol group, a hydroxyl group. What about these? Come on. Yeah. Now, more blood sugar stuff. This just talks about how to measure blood sugar, right? If you go to the doctor, they will often do what? They will check, prick your finger for it, and they have a little thing. Or if you're pregnant, the first thing you do when you're pregnant, you go to the doctor every time, what do? Pee in a cup. And they check your urine for sugar. Why do they check your urine for sugar? No. Well, they check it for ketones as well, but why are they checking for sugars? A little bit different than just checking it for ketones. Why do you think they check your sugar for, or your urine for sugar? Not necessarily.
I know they check it for protein.
They check it for proteins, and they also check it for sugar, because you shouldn't be getting rid of either one of them, should you? Why not? What does your body do with sugar? It burns it. So why, and if it doesn't burn it, what does it do with it?
Stores the fat.
Converts the fat, stores it. So when you hibernate, you got plenty to live on. Right? So you shouldn't be peeing away your sugar, because it took you energy to go out there and collect that fruit and to eat it, right? So your body stores that sugar or uses it. You shouldn't be peeing it away. If you are, you might be diabetic. Okay? Not necessarily, but there's a good chance you probably are, because your body lacks the insulin enzyme to help you process the sugar, right?
So pregnant, would that be indication of gestational diabetes?
It could be, yes. If you started leaking sugar, they'd almost certainly send you for that time test. And then once they do the time test, then they would decide what to do with you if you're really diabetic or not. Okay. There's several other tests they can do too. So, all right. How do you get from monosaccharides to disaccharides and even polysaccharides? Well, you have to link the monosaccharides together, don't you? Because if a monosaccharide is 1, a di is 2, and let's think about what happens. To go from 1 to 2, you have to join them together. And in this case, we have lactose. It is a combination of galactose and glucose. Look what happens right here. We have an OH that takes an H, and we get some water left, right? And this oxygen that's left right here, this is an ether linkage. And in this case, because of the carbons that it's on, this is called a beta-1,4 glycosidic bond for glucose. Now, for lactose, some people lack the enzyme that's capable of breaking that beta-1,4 glycosidic bond right here. And you people are said to be what? Lactose intolerant. So we had a whole discussion about lactose intolerance in the other class. Is there anybody here that is lactose intolerant?
My sister is.
Okay, you are a little bit. Did you know that humans are like one of the few mammals that actually maintain the enzyme to do this throughout life? Most animals lose this ability as they get older. Why? Because they don't get to breastfeed anymore. They don't ever drink milk again, right? Us actually drinking milk is very unnatural. No other animals drink milk as they get older. You drink a lot of milk.
Milk is so good.
Huh?
Milk is so good.
You drink skim milk, so you got rid of all the fat. Milk tastes sweet to us. Why does milk taste sweet? Because it's got sugar in it, right? And some fat normally too, if you drink whole milk. Like if you get used to drinking skim milk, you can't drink whole milk because it tastes sour to you. Yeah, because it's got all the fat in it.
It's horrible.
Skim milk's like drinking water.
Ugh. I like whole milk. Yeah, whole milk.
I don't drink milk at all, really, so, but if you are lactose intolerant, you lack the ability to break this bond right here. So you can't take the disaccharide and make it into monosaccharides, so your body can't ever use it for energy. And that's what causes you to have digestional issues and stuff. So common disaccharides are maltose, lactose, and sucrose, and you can see the monosaccharides over here. 2 glucose molecules make maltose. Where do you think maltose comes from in nature? If lactose comes from milk, where do you think maltose comes from? Do you know anything that has the word malt in it? Come on. Malt liquor. That's a good one. True. Why is it called that? It started with maltose in it. Where did the maltose come from before they made the malt liquor? Where do you think the maltose came from? Anybody know how to make beer? What do you use to make beer? Grain. Sugars. The sugars are in the grain, right? Like when you eat bread or when you drink beer. Well, drinking beer, in beer, what happens? They ferment it. Bacteria break the maltose down and make 2 glucose molecules. They take the glucose and the yeast eats the glucose, right? That's called fermentation. It makes what? Alcohol. Okay? Your body takes the maltose, breaks it into glucoses, and does what? Burns the glucose for energy. So any kind of pasta, wheat, right? Pizza crust. Pizza crust, you might as well eat some noodles, right? Same thing. All that comes from wheat. Okay? All those things have maltose in them. Sucrose. Where do you find sucrose? Most any other types of sugar producing things, right? Vegetables, fruits, all that kind of stuff have lots of sucrose in them. Don't worry about blood types. So maltose is known as malt sugar, has 2 D-glucose molecules in it. It can come from starch. You will often find maltose in things like cereals, candies, and brewing. It has both alpha and beta forms. So that what we mean by alpha and beta forms are the linkage between the 2 monosaccharides can either be alpha or beta. Lactose we've already talked about. It's found in milk. It's made of galactose and glucose, and it has a 1,4-glycosidic linkage that some people cannot break. Sucrose, common table sugar, found in sugar cane and beets. And we already decided nobody here really likes beets except for a couple.
Never had boots.
Never had beets?
I don't think I would like it. I don't think I have it yet.
Who's never tried a beet before? The heck, you people need to get out and Sanford more.
They're not missing
Yeah,
anything.
That's horrible.
They're not horrible.
Are they bright red or something?
Bright red.
Bright red.
Oh, then I do not like them.
Most of you don't want to be in a vet tech program. Just think about the shirt color that you'll wear the first year. That they look like beets, don't they?
I've seen one, I just haven't tried it. Yeah, they do look like
I didn't realize that until today when I was lecturing. I'm like, you people all look like beets. They don't like that too much. Okay. So you can make refined sugar from beets or sugar cane. Now, we talked about this in the other class. Like, historically, what's wrong with sugar? Is there anything wrong with sugar? Not really, your body needs it, doesn't it? But what we've done is we've refined the sugar, so we've made it just like, I guess somebody used the analogy in the other class. Refined sugar is like crack as opposed to like powder cocaine.
Oh, wow.
Terrible.
You gotta put it in
Terrible
terminology, right, that people
Terrible
understand, right? But refined sugar is very addictive because it goes straight into your blood when you eat it, right? When you eat candy or cookies, with all that refined sugar in there, why do little kids get all jacked up when they eat candies? Because it's just like putting that sugar mainline. Whee! But if you give them an apple to eat, they're still eating sugar, aren't they? But their body has to process that sugar a little bit on its own. Takes a little bit longer to get into their system. It's like going in nice and slow, right?
And if they just have a cookie, they have a sugar crash afterwards and they just sleep.
And then they Jones and they want more sugar,
Jones.
right? Sugar. One of the students said, there's a couple kids in that class that already have bachelor's degrees that are in the vet tech program. One of them was telling me about articles she read about how when you look at how addictive different substances are, sugar is more addictive than cocaine.
Yeah, it's more addictive than that.
They did a study with mice, and they can look at the brain processing. That you can get a mouse addicted to cocaine, right? And they give it to them in the water, so they get addicted to it, right? So if you get them addicted to cocaine, and then you give them sugar water, they prefer the sugar water over the cocaine.
I'm sure it's much better.
Because the sugar water, if you look at the brain processing, lights your brain up more than cocaine does. Isn't that scary?
Well, why do some people get angry when they have too much sugar?
I don't know.
Maybe it gives them a headache.
Makes me happy. And that's why I have this, because I like to eat refined sugar. You say people have a sweet tooth, right? Well, if you like to eat ice cream and cookies and cake and all that stuff,
Sweet tea.
yeah, drink sweet tea, right? You have all this refined sugar in your system. Your body needs sugar. Nothing wrong with some sugar, but when you start overdoing it, right, then you get addicted to it, and you wind up looking like me, okay? So it's not bad in itself, it's the way we now eat it, right? If you were back in caveman days, you would never eat refined sugar like this. You get all your sugar from where? From the food, from fruits and nuts and grains and stuff that you eat. Like if you go eat a pecan.
Pecan.
I've been too educated, I say pecans now. I don't say pecans anymore.
It's pecan.
If you go eat a pecan, what does it taste like?
So good.
Like a pecan.
So good.
Yes, they are very sweet.
Put sugar on mine, put it in the oven.
Any other nut.
Nuts and legumes have lots of sugar in them as well. They store energy in there, right? Part of it, so that when it germinates, the little plant can grow. That's the energy source.
Pecan's palm tree.
The nut is the seed. Smack you. She's being contrary today, isn't she? Okay. So this is sucrose, right? When it forms the glucose and fructose bonding together, we get a sucrose, which is a disaccharide, glucose and fructose. Very natural, you need some of it, but the refined amount is just like, it's bad. It's too addictive. And why is it so addictive? Because it tastes good to you. Why does it taste good to you? Because evolutionarily, what? When you taste something sweet, what does it mean? Eat more of it because it's got energy for you so you can work longer, right? That's why sweet tasting things mean you want more of them. When something tastes really bitter to you, you don't want no more of that. Probably means it's not good for you, right? But sweet things taste really good and you go get more of them. Now look at the artificial sweeteners down here. Why do they work? This scale over here is relative sweetness. Sucrose is fixed at 100. So fructose is twice as sweet as sucrose, roughly. Look at the artificial sweeteners, how much sweeter they taste on a per gram basis than sucrose does. Wow. I'm not even sure what neotame is. I don't know where you find that. But look at how sweet those things taste to you compared to sucrose. It's amazing, isn't it? That's why most people don't mind the taste of artificial sweeteners, because they taste so sweet. That's why I drink Diet Mountain Dew. Okay, sucralose is what's found in Splenda, and what they do is they replace some of the hydroxyl groups with chlorine atoms. That's what some people think they have a bad aftertaste, because they're tasting that chlorine in them. Okay, doesn't sound very pleasant, does it? To be consuming chlorine. Just go to the pool and drink some water. Aspartame is what's found in NutraSweet, and this is what aspartame looks like. That really doesn't look good. We're not going to worry about this. We're going to worry about blood types. Polysaccharides. Polysaccharides are long-chain sugar molecules. So many monosaccharides joined together. Glucose is special, and cellulose is special, and it's made of glucose that has a beta-1,4 glycosidic bond. Your body lacks the enzymes to digest cellulose, doesn't it? Anybody here able to digest cellulose? Anybody ever tried to digest cellulose? I don't choose to eat wood. Thank you very much. Who eats wood? Termites. Beavers do, I guess. Yes, beavers eat trees. Do they eat? Do they eat this? They don't eat the trees. They eat the leaves, right? That's what they live on. They only gnaw the tree to build their stuff. They don't actually eat the wood, I don't think.
They use it to follow their teeth down so they don't grow up to that.
Okay.
Their teeth will like
Because
grow
their
through
teeth are
their
constantly
head.
growing.
Yeah.
It'll grow through their mouth.
That's right.
But we don't have the enzyme to break this linkage, right? This is a different linkage than we normally have, so we don't have the enzyme to break this down, so we can't eat wood, unfortunately. Right? Polysaccharides are formed when monosaccharides join together in long chains. They include things like amylose, amylopectin, and cellulose, which your body can process amylose and amylopectin, or amylose. The structure of amylose is a straight chain polysaccharide made only of glucose units. Amylopectin is a branched chain of glucose. They have potatoes on here. They could have corn on here too, because they're both very starchy. Starch is what we call amylose or amylopectin, okay? With these linkages in them, and all you do is you just break those apart. Why are potatoes so full of energy? Because they're full of starch, right? Lots of monosaccharides linked together in these long chains, and then your body just breaks them apart. And why does starch last longer than simple sugar in your system?
Takes longer to break it down.
It takes longer to break it down because you have to break all these linkages, right? Simple sugar like refined sucrose, man, boom, that's energy, right? You eat a potato, you gotta break all these linkages before you can use it. Takes a little bit longer to
eat a
digest.
raw potato?
I don't know, I like raw potatoes.
Someone told me it was bad to eat a raw potato, like it was bad for you.
It's never done anything to me.
It won't hurt Twix.
I don't think it hurts you. I mean, I've always like, my mom never could understand, but every time she was ever cooking potatoes, I would always go get some. She's like, what are you doing? She did. Haven't you
Some
learned
people like to
yet?
eat raw turnips.
So yeah, so that's, okay. Yeah. We can all do this. Your body stores some glucose as glycogen. This glycogen is what maintains your blood sugar level at a normal level without you having to continuously eat, right? your body just stores it as glycogen, then you use it as you need. It's stored in the liver and in muscle tissue. So the more muscle tissue you have, the more sugar you can store, the longer you can work, right? Should make sense. Cellulose, you can't use. And they're good examples of tree trunks, and cotton fiber is made up of cellulose. And we are done. Go home, do the homework. There'll be a quiz next week too. Yay. See you guys on Monday. 4 more lectures left, that's it. Or 4 more classes. 3 lectures and a test.